Remy. He came into our lives with quiet paws but a tired heart. He didn't bark. He didn't jump for joy. He didn't look us in the eye. It was as if he was not even sure of being there. It was as if he had come not to stay, but to be abandoned again. When we first laid eyes on him that day, my wife and I just looked at each other. Silently, we felt the same thing. This dog is no longer alone. The first weeks passed in silence. Remy never took his eyes off us while eating. He waited by his plate, sometimes not even eating. We had prepared his soft bed, but he always curled up on the end of the rug. He tried to sleep with his back to the wall and his eyes open, as if he stayed awake, he could control things.
Hey, night. Okay, come on, let's go.
Sometimes he would go to the corner of the couch and continue to watch us silently. The sadness in his eyes was so deep, I wondered if we could heal him. But then, small changes began. One morning, we saw her for the first time walking into the living room after Max. Carefully, slowly, but she was walking. The following week, she tilted her head to the side as we watched Max playing with a toy. We came closer, gave him the same toy, and he pushed it with his nose, and then pushed it again. I wouldn't say he played, but he wasn't scared. This was a huge step for us. Then, one morning, while I was in the kitchen making coffee, my wife whispered, "Look." I turned my head. Remy was lying in his bed for the first time. On the soft pillow, his eyes closed, his body relaxed. He was sleeping safely. In that moment, something inside me unraveled. He was no longer just in our house. We were her home now. When we handed her a cupcake, she hesitated, but slowly started to eat it. Even though the feeling of insecurity remained, it was as if something was changing inside him. As the months passed, Remy began to sit with Max at the window and watch outside. Max was still energetic, barking and jumping, but Remy had a different quietness.
Rambo.
His presence brought a different balance to our home. In the mornings, when my husband and I went for a walk, Remy began to walk straighter than ever. He was still a little hesitant, but he was no longer ready to run away, but "I'm with you." He started to look around, ready to protect us in case of the slightest threat. The vet suggested small sweaters for his sensitive skin. We tried them on. At first, he was uneasy, but then he started to look in the mirror every time he put them on. She pricked up her ears as if to say, "How do I look?" When Max came up to her and smelled her, she looked proud. My wife started laughing and calling her the old style icon. And yes, it was a bit like that. Today, Remy still doesn't run. He's old now, his knees are weak. He can only walk a few blocks a day, but every step he takes tells us how strong he is. Every morning, he straightens his blanket with his own nose. Max teases her, but she looks at him patiently. Everyone in the house seems to be tuned to his pace, because Remy lives by heart, not by speed. One day we came across an animal communication expert who said, "Remy doesn't just love you, he believes in you. You are not just a home for him, you are a safe world." Do you have a pet friend that you feel is your world? If so, don't forget to write their name in the comments. I have to admit, my eyes filled up at that moment, because we were already reading this from his eyes every morning. Remy taught us quietly, but with determination. Love grows where you choose to stay, not out loud. And sometimes a dog is not just a dog. Sometimes it's the missing piece that makes you who you are. We don't know how many more years we'll be together. But we know one thing, she chose us, and we will never leave him. And if one day you open your heart to a paw, maybe you too will witness a silent miracle. Maybe a life will learn to love again, only with your patience. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to share it. Maybe one of your posts will start the transformation of another Remy.